What's up, viewers, subscribers, and agents alike? It's your boy Enlightenment's favorite Prince coming at y'all once again. If you're watching this video around children, please I ask you that you remove them from the immediate vicinity, as my videos are not for children. If you are looking at this video as legal advice, let's get it straight right now. This video is not for legal advice. The sole purpose of this video is for informational, educational, and legally educational purposes only. Now that that's out the way, over the course of the last few days, I've been asked on multiple occasions, and for some reason, I know that when people need a little bit more understanding, I'm patient with that because I know that these people are looking for a more concrete insight to exactly what they're asking me about. And this video is called Specific Negative Averment Revisited. Now, I know it's a very unpopular remedy in the legal community, but I'm going to break it down to where it's simplistic, it's not complicated, it's not long drawn out, nor is it something that has to be considered in a way where it's so, complicated for people who really don't have an understanding on it. So, allow me to elaborate. Specific negative averment is an actual law that is used substantially for those people who know. This is used substantially for people who wish to nullify a particular jurisdiction, a claim, or anything that has to go into a legal proceeding. Now, this can be used from civil, just minor infractions, we're going to start there, to lawsuits, to claims as far as people sending stuff to your domicile, or as far as people trying to basically come against your particular state. Now, if you file the UCC-1 already on the state secretary's website, then you don't have to worry about too much when it comes down to how this is formulated. Now, it's a very, very, very effective process and procedure because it states that you can actually do this documentation in order for you, your natural self, to not be held liable for the act of behest of another. So what does that mean? Now, this is just basically saying that all you're telling your adversary in regards of respect to who you are and to who you are not is that you are not a corporate fictional entity. Now, I know a lot of people, agents especially, they'll be like, well, that stuff doesn't work, yada, yada, yada. Okay, because it was predisposed for you fuckers to not make it work because it would expose you for being the frauds that y'all really are. That's why you would say that in the comment sections on many people's channels who actually expound upon this information. Of course, you're going to say that shit. But legally, it is indeed particularly common for people to aver, or which means to basically attest or swear to saying who you are and to who you are not. So fuck the agents when it comes down to them saying that it's not real, because it's according to the Federal Law of Civil Procedure 9A. Go look it up for all the people who are naysayers. Okay? It is something in which you have to actually do for yourself in regards to you and your legal proceedings. Again, now, does this apply to all cases? Absolutely not. If you harm a person or their property, it doesn't apply in those cases. So if you harmed a person or you harmed their property, this does not apply to you. You might as well shut this video off because it doesn't apply. However, if it's civil or minor or medium in its variance regards to certain levels of the legal system, because I don't think a lot of people understand that the worst tier of the legal system is the disfranchising criminal justice system. That is the worst tier. It is not the same as civil courts. It is not the same as small claims. It is a fucking military tribunal designed to control a populace of people who don't know how to fucking act. Okay? So this doesn't apply to criminal cases, except in certain instances where they may charge you criminally, but then it may come back to a sense of where they actually negate the charge or negate the offense, so to speak, and they actually bring it down to non-criminal. This helps. Now, if it's criminal, good fucking luck. And I explained to a lot of people on my channel that the only thing that's going to save you in regards to criminal or any type of proceeding in that respect, stay the fuck out them people courtrooms. Period. Stay out them people face. The criminal justice system, not the entire system, before people get it fucking misconstrued, is the worst because they play for keeps. And they know that majority of people who actually entangle themselves in that matter are uneducated. And they know that. So when people try to look for a way out, the way out is you stay out. If I can make it that simple. Don't get involved. Don't do criminal shit. And yeah, we know things happen. Men and women alike. You know, I've been arrested before for stupid shit back in the day when I didn't know any better. But the more you learn about this stuff is the way you stay out of it. Now, let's come back down to the low-level things, such as lawsuits, such as claims of foreclosure, whatever. These are things that I'm talking about. I'm not talking about that this is the all-around case where you're exempt from the system. I think a lot of people have this fucked up misconception that just because you know something, or just because you have a high degree or understanding of knowledge, that you're exempt from the system. Nobody escapes natural law. Nobody escapes that shit. No one. Natural law is just like this. If you have to use the restroom, your body is going to tell you have to use the restroom. That's natural law. That's the course of things. None of us can escape that. When you are hungry, you have to eat. You have to consume something. That is natural law. We ain't talking about the statutes and codes that's inside of books. We're talking about the metaphysical meeting the physical. We're talking about that law. So when you realize that the promulgation of laws is nothing more than a shadow of what's natural, then you'll start to understand exactly what I'm saying. However, just because they constructed something and said that you were a corporation doesn't mean you have to answer to that. That is the purpose of specific negative averment. It is separating the natural self from the corporate self in order for you to keep your natural self at an act of forbearance or behest of another. In other words, if somebody's saying you did something in any type of claim, just because someone said you did something doesn't mean you did it. Doesn't mean you've done it. For those who like to be politically correct. So, in short, specific negative averment is a powerful remedy to oust any jurisdiction over a natural person, because in order for them to say you actually have done anything, they have to prove that something intangible actually doesn't exist. And since a corporation cannot stand on its own because it's a figment of the imagination, how the fuck can you be held accountable for anything? And you just learned that truth in less than 9 minutes. Simple. Over the course of the years, people do not understand how the system works. They don't know. See, when you understand how this works, and you understand why these things are in application or why they have been hidden for so long from the common populace of people, it's because you were never supposed to know how it works. You were only supposed to know to do one thing: comply with it. That was all. But then when it comes down to the age of information, as such as today, you start to realize that there are more things that meet the eye than just what has been told to you by sources or secondhand knowledge. I ask everybody in respect. My channel, my content, my videos are nothing more. They're not opinions. That's the whole thing. They are not opinions. These are facts that you can go research and study yourself, so you can actually become equipped enough to be able to be like, well, you know, I get it now. This is not an opinion. This is not a biased channel. This is not one of them situations where I particularly give my own sole opinion, because no, any person who actually looks for counsel or looks for some type of, validation in their profession about what they do should be responsible enough to research it in the first place before you come on these airwaves and you start talking shit like a lot of these people do on their channel. And I'm not saying any names. And I'm just saying, whether you favor them or not, it is what it is. At the end of the day, it is your responsibility. The beginning, middle, and end of the day, and into the next, is your responsibility to equip yourself knowledgeably in order for you to properly proceed and to handle your business and not let your business handle you. It's just that simple. If it's your first time viewing this channel, like and subscribe. If you are not one of the people who like to be accountable for the things in which you actually embark upon in your daily way of living, then stay where you at. Simple as that. Stay where you at. Stay where you need to be. It's your choice. It's your life. But do not, this is what I hate about agents. Agents always work to dissuade people to know a truth that they're incapable of accepting. That's the truth. They are just totally trying to dissuade you. It's been times where I started my channel like years ago. I was on to 2016, but I didn't start posting until 2017. Oh, that's not real. That stuff's fake. You notice that you don't hear that shit no more in my video comment section? You don't hear it no more. Because irrespective of me still showing people the truth about it, they were still coming in the comment section saying certain things. Like, it's not true. How could it not be true if I'm showing you evidence of something? Just because you're not willing to accept it, because your mental underdevelopment to grasp what the concept is, or your indoctrination, does not mean, and it doesn't invalidate what I'm saying is true. An opinion can be validated all day long. All day long. It's an opinion. An opinion is not fact. But when you have something that's proven to actually be factual, I'll tell you by this. By the power of the ancestors in the universe within, fuck your opinion. Straight up. Because you're dealing with something you were never supposed to know in the first place. Straight. Specific negative averment revisited. And I tell people this all the time. You have to know these legal techniques, because you can talk to certain lawyers. I would even gamble people to do this. I would bet you. Call all these attorneys and all these people that put their billboards and their posters up, because they ain't nothing but businesses too. And ask them about it. Now, you've spent all these years in school. You've spent all these years in these, circles of people who are like-minded as well as you. Well, indoctrinated, I should say. But that's neither here nor there. Ask them about it. Ask them about a UCC-1. Ask them about the functionality of a security agreement. Ask them about what a hold harmless is. All of this stuff, they will shut you down, because they may familiarize themselves with it, but I don't care who you are or what you are. There is no attorney in this country that practices in a respective field that knows everything about law. However, you have an opportunity to know the functionality of it, and that gives you the direct path for you to interpret it for yourself, so you'll never have to hire one again. Wow. But if you don't want to hear what I just had to say, fly away. Skedaddle to Seattle. Y'all stay tuned for the next upload. I appreciate y'all. Thanks for all the support y'all been giving me. The views, although they come slow, because I've been shadow banned, it's fine. This is only meant for a certain few. That's all I can say. It ain't meant for everybody. So I don't get caught up in the views and subscribers. But the real ones who've been with me throughout the years, keep watching. Stay tuned. Coming back at y'all later. Peace, light, love. Agents, fuck you. You already know what it is.